Let me tell you about a snake whose name speaks for itself. The mere mention of it strikes fear into the hearts of Floridians from the Keys to Pensacola. Some claim that they will chase you to the ends of the earth. Others claim that they will pounce on you from trees above. Authors have described it as follows. More dreaded than the rattlesnake, attacking everything within reach, armed with death. There's no denying it. The Florida cottonmouth is the most feared and infamous snake in Florida. But, why? Do you know? The truth is that the Florida cottonmouth is deeply misunderstood. There's much more to the snake than meets the eye. Today, we're going to show you what makes the snake unique, debunk some myths about its behavior, and prove why it deserves your respect. Let's meet the Florida cottonmouth. This is a cottonmouth, otherwise known as a water moccasin. We're using special tools to keep the snake at a safe distance, so please don't try this at home. This is an adult. It's about 3 feet long, but some can reach lengths of up to 4 feet or longer. The name cottonmouth is self-explanatory. When the snake feels threatened, it reveals its bone-white mouth as a visual warning to keep predators away. Otherwise, the snake's brown and black patterns serve as camouflage and make it difficult to spot. The scientific name for the cottonmouth is Agkistrodon piscivorus, which roughly translates to hook-toothed fish eater. However, cottonmouths are actually generalist predators, and they'll eat just about anything they can fit in their mouth. On today's menu, fish, frogs, lizards, small mammals, carrion, and even smaller snakes. They're prolific hunters, crucial in keeping small animal populations down. They're also great ambush predators. They lie in wait, waiting for an unsuspecting victim. I'd like the check, please. This is where venom comes into play. Venom is a mixture of proteins and chemicals produced in specialized glands in a snake's body, although the formulation varies from snake to snake. Cottonmouth venom is cytotoxic, meaning it acts on the victim's cells. It tears through the membranes, destroying living tissue and causing intense swelling. In the best case scenario, you'll leave the hospital with mild scars. In the worst case scenario, you won't leave the hospital. Venom is inherently dangerous, but remember, a snake will only bite you if you give a good reason to. Venom is not a reason to fear a snake, but rather to respect it. Now, cottonmouths might be venomous, but they're not invincible by any means. Snapping turtles, alligators, raccoons, and birds large and small have been known to prey upon them. With roles as both predator and prey and a statewide range, there's no denying that the cottonmouth is crucial to Florida's ecosystems. Without it, the food chains would collapse. So if you see one, please don't kill it. Predator and prey alike are counting on you. But how do you know if you're looking at a cottonmouth? Now, because a cottonmouth is semi-aquatic, it's very hard to tell it apart from any of Florida's 8 water snakes. To eliminate any confusion, here's how to identify a cottonmouth. Don't. If you're not 100% sure you're looking at a non-venomous snake, there's no reason to run the risk. There are actually a variety of small traits you can use to determine if it's a cottonmouth or a water snake, but if you get close enough to observe them, you'd be in striking range. Thankfully, a cottonmouth will typically identify itself by flashing its white mouth at you. If you see it, it's time to back up and leave that snake alone. Now that we've finished the basics of the cottonmouth, let's talk about some myths. Contrary to popular belief, cottonmouths are actually not aggressive. In fact, snakes really only have 3 goals in their life, which are to eat, mate, and survive. So why bite a person? Well, they won't do it out of hunger. Cottonmouths will eat just about anything they can fit in their mouth, but humans don't tend to fit in that category. Biting a person does nothing to impress the ladies either. That leaves only one reason why a cottonmouth will ever consider biting you, which is that it fears for its life. Cottonmouths will hiss, shake their tail, and flash their white mouth at you before they ever consider putting their life on the line. They just want to be left alone. If a story about a cottonmouth doesn't end with the snake's head and body in 2 different places, chances are it ends with the phrase, "It chased me away." Now, cottonmouths can and will approach you, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're going to strike you. In fact, in most cases, they're bluffing. This is called a blocked flight response, and it's another tactic used by a cottonmouth in case of an emergency. It's a real behavior, but it's very rare and often incorrectly attributed to aggression. People tend to confuse the cottonmouth with other snakes, but sometimes they confuse it with itself. Juvenile cottonmouths are small and have a slightly different appearance, which results in the misconception that they are 2 different species. But why is the juvenile's tail yellow? You might be surprised to learn that it's part of a unique hunting tactic called caudal luring. By holding still and wiggling its tail around, the snake is able to convince prey that its tail is a worm. By the time a small animal realizes it's been duped, it's already too late. Now, cottonmouths might keep to themselves, but in some rare cases, they can be great team players. Take Seahorse Key, which is a small island off of Florida's Gulf Coast. It used to be home to one of Florida's largest waterbird populations, and it was teeming with cottonmouths as well. On such a small island, how was a large snake population sustained without abundant terrestrial prey? The answer lies in a mutualistic relationship between the birds and the snakes. The birds were protected from predators by the cottonmouths lurking beneath their rookeries, and in return, the snakes were allowed to eat whatever fell out of their nests. Out here, fish are abundant, and birds don't tend to have table manners, so the snakes were very well fed. Unfortunately, in April of 2015, most of the bird colony evacuated the island, leaving the cottonmouth population to plummet. 10 years later, it is still unclear exactly why the birds left the island. You probably won't be seeing a cottonmouth anytime soon, but in the case that you do, just show it some respect and leave it alone. And in the case that one does get a little too close for your liking, I've got a simple trick to shoo it away. The case of the cottonmouth is complicated, but if there's anything you should have learned today, it's that complexity can be beautiful. Some people say that a good snake is a dead snake. I don't agree. I think that a good snake is just a snake. By that logic, the cottonmouth is pretty fantastic. If you'd like to learn more about Florida's venomous snakes, visit floridamuseum.ufl.edu.